you see that SPY is still continuing to grow. It's still growing, and it's not there's no sign of SPY um, plunging all of a sudden up to nowhere. You see that the thick cloud, blue cloud, and the thick green cloud indicate the strength of the trend. So, and you see that that strength is at this point, we're at the point where it indicates that it's chopped off, it's missing a tail. For this trend to stop, this trend needs to have a tail which is sharp. Remember, see how it started with a tail down here? That tail is what we need to end that trend, this upward trend. But that is different though. That's different. That's a yearly chart we're talking about now. Let's take a look at what is really happening right now. Okay, look, I'm gonna bring you down to a quarterly chart, and remember, we're out of the yearly chart. This is a quarterly chart. In the quarterly chart, that means every candle counts for 3 months. Okay, keep that in mind. Every candles count for 3 months. And so with that in mind, we're at a point where the 3 month quarterly candle for this moment is greenish in a way, which is ultimately, of course, indicating a sign or a signal of uptrend. But that's not what we can bank our hopes on. And do know that I have this one awesome indicator here, which I call the DWO. This DWO is not an exact um, indicator. It is one of the indicators provided by Webull, but I've manipulated it in a little bit just to make sure that I have it customized in my own way. And to clarify, not that this DWO is comes from EWO. If you remove the D, the EWO becomes this indicator. So this indicator is the EWO, but modified in a different way. The only thing I've added onto this indicator is the middle line, which is this dotted red line, and then I transformed it in a way that it gives me a line instead of a histogram. Okay, so that I can tell exactly when this line crossed the dotted line, or if this middle, I can use the middle line for my point of entry and exit on a bearish or bullish market. So that's the whole thing behind this. So let's take a look at the monthly chart. The monthly chart does indicate that things are not looking good. Things are starting to plunge down, and you will see that actually on the monthly chart itself, the line on the DWO is coming down to cross the dotted line. That means it's just starting. It's the bearish trend is just starting. Okay, but I cannot tell you that it's gonna last, or it's how long it's gonna take, because take a look at the past. This happened before. We have been above the dotted line for quite a time here. This came down and ultimately crossed the dotted line, stayed below the dotted line for some days before it started moving back up, and that happens at least 3 times. Yeah, let's say two big times. Where we have crossed this dotted line, but for the most part, everything has been very successful. We have been above the dotted red line, and both the green had been above the blue cloud. So that means that's a pretty good signal, a pretty good strength which had been maintaining. But as of now, uh, this is not looking very good. This is coming down to cross the dotted line, but also remember, once this crosses the dotted line, it's a couple of months. It's like a year and a half before it can go back above the dotted line. So either you pray it doesn't cross, or it cross and you just play the bearish game. Okay, keep those in mind. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. The weekly chart does tell us a few things. On the weekly chart, you will see that there are points where we have crossed the dotted lines. Okay, there are points where we have crossed the dotted line, and the more interesting one is actually it took quite a bit of time. That was in 2000, from 2000 to up to at least 2003. That's almost 4 years, but never mind. Just keep this. It keeps oscillating. Even though there is that, you will see that even within that time, there were moments where there were some bearish moves as well. I mean some bullish moves as well. There were moments of bullish moves that potentially some people were able to recognize those and act accordingly. So even in those bearish moments, there will be some bullish moves as well. So just keep an eye on those as the market, plan on regaining its strength back. And like I said, this cloud does not just remain chopped. This cloud ends with a tail. See how this orange is ending with a tail, and then the blue is picking with a tail, and then see how this red is ending with a tail, and the green is picking with a tail. Okay, all those kind of things. And let's go where we are right now. Okay, where we are, you will see that we're on a bearish. We're on a pretty big bearish. We almost crossed the dotted line back, but we have been on a bearish for a very long time. At the same time, we have been on a bearish for a very long time, and you probably already know that at this point, yeah, you already know that at this point, this still means we have some way to go. Okay, because we need to find that tail, where that tail is. Without that tail, there is no stop yet. So this might actually come all the way down to 340 something. Who knows? I don't know. I don't control the market. I'm just giving my stupid random assumption. But if that happens, if that's the case, yeah, you guys know what to do. And more importantly, I'm gonna take a look at the daily chart. Okay, the daily chart depicts and displays and tells us a lot of things. The daily chart is what a lot of swing traders deal with or play with. You will see that on the daily chart. Let's give an example of this situation here. Okay, both the red cloud and this DWO crossed nearly at the same time, but you know that one will cross before the other, and then the other will confirm. Once you get a confirmation, yeah, play a little move. Like at some point, when you see that the green cloud has appeared, and the line on the DWO is approaching to go above the dotted line, you then want to act. You want to act at some point and maybe make a little moves, buy some puts. I mean not puts. Buy some calls for the uptrend or for the bullish move, which ultimately expires the next few days. Not more than say a month. Okay. But depending on what you feel like the strength of the market has been. I mean, if the strength of the market had been like this, you can buy whatever ends and expires in even years. Okay, because for the most part, everything had been above the dotted line on the DWO. But as of now, this is a game of gambling. At this point here, this is a game of gambling. You can tell that the probability of red over green is too much at this point. So it's approximately 0.75 to 0.25. It's a lot. So the daily chart still have a few days to go before everything start turning in favors of the bullish players. The hourly chart depicts something weird. um, mind you mind you um, my DO chart is misleading here. Okay, my DO chart is misleading here, so you note that it's indicating red where it's supposed to be green. So I'm gonna fix that. Okay, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna say where it's red, I'm gonna change that to green, and then I'm gonna say where it's green, I'm gonna change that to red. Okay, all right, now we're talking. See that we picked on a 4 hourly chart, we picked green from here, and of course that's right about the time when the red tail came in. That red tail came in and picked it right away, and of course things started unraveling and moving all the way, and not until then that red cloud came in and it started hailing rainstorm, a hailstorm, raining hailstorm, and so things started getting so bad. But ever since then, nothing has changed. It's been red and it's still being red. So, but I can tell though that maybe a tail will start forming in the next 2 3 days. In the next 2 3 days, because the way this is starting to curve around, the way this is starting to curve around, it shows that something is happening, as compared to when you have just a straight, straight line. So things are starting to cover around here, but I cannot tell that this is gonna be the end of this. This is not the end. This thing is still happening. And this will take a long time. And mind you, you can use this. This is a 2 hour chart. On the 2 hour chart, actually the 1 hour chart may tell you that the tail is already forming, but we cannot rely on that tail. This was a very bad day for the market. Tried moving up. All of a sudden, one candle ruins the whole day. See, that's not fair. But I cannot help with that. Okay, this is again a situation. Let me see. All right, this is correct. This is a situation where, again, my duo is misleading. I gotta change one thing. Green becomes red, and then red becomes green. You just change two things. Okay, just change two things. Leave the middle as whatever it is. Okay, and then you tell that this had been an uptrend right here. They cross right here. You could buy it from right here, and swing this. As soon as it cross, it will not cross back immediately. If it cross the other side, it will not cross back immediately. Okay, that cross there, well, yeah, it doesn't cross back immediately. So even the 1 hour chart says this is still moving on, going on, but we don't know yet. We'll see. I do know that the yellow or the orange cloud takes a little bit of time to get a tail, but the red one does not take a long time to get a tail. So a pretty strong move will give us a tail easily on that. And just like that. This is a 15-minute chart for the day. On a 15-minute chart, you will see that most of the things had been down. A fair play, which anyone would have played on a bearish move, on a bullish move today, would have been around 358, and exiting around 363. That would have given you quite a bit of coin movement that you could have gained some penny out of it. And this is just a 10 minutes chart. As you can see, it depicts exactly what we hope to. And actually, as a matter of fact, let me change my candle style into actual candle that everyone is used to. And stop manipulating these guys with what I think is right for me. Okay. Okay. All right. This is the bloody candle that I hate to see. Okay. Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. And the 5 minute chart will tell you exactly what was happening, and that's yeah, that's how it is. That's what it is. But let me show you something else. Let me show you something else. I will show it on the actual Webull desktop. This is the actual Webull desktop. Okay. On the actual Webull desktop, you will see that actually let me move things around. Okay. On my Webull desktop, you will note that I'm using TTM squeeze, which is behaving nearly the same as the DWO indicator which you saw here. This DWO indicator behaves nearly the same as the TTM squeeze. The TTM squeeze here works in two ways. Actually, as a matter of fact, let me give you a daily. Oh, my bad. This is a option. This is the option chain, and this option chain is not what I am intending to show. But this yeah, take a look at this. Take a look at this. This was just 3 days ago. This was at nearly $10,500. I mean, yeah, 11. What? No. Yeah, 1,000. Yeah, you can tell. You can tell that value multiplied by 100. That's $1,000 something dollars. And today, guess how much it is? $7. $7. And as a matter of fact, it's just because this expires in one day. But if SPY do happen to go up, we'll see. If the last candle is hollow on a daily chart, SPY might go up tomorrow. That means you could actually buy this at $7 and make nearly 1,000 out of it. Buy this at $7. At least you will make $100 out of that $7. You see. So on the chart, I'm gonna click on the SPY. Unfortunately, the last candle was not hollow, but there is still a possibility that SPY will go up. Why? Because see how these two moving averages are closing together right here. This close here means there is more likely going to be a crossover. There's more likely going to be a crossover point, which should happen on the next day. Okay, this is like the connectivity point. As you can see, it's like they're connecting the dot right there. So it's just a crossover point. That crossover point should come on a green candle, and that means this is more likely to gap up or do something weird, which is still bullish. You get. So like I was saying, the TTM squeeze behaves exactly nearly the same as the DWO, although with the TTM squeeze, let me show you exactly what happens with the TTM squeeze. With the TTM squeeze is actually far much better because it gives you a warning and it can tell you to start preparing earlier. As you can see, this different multiple colors, and with the TTM squeeze, you don't need to make any changes on the on the histogram. Just use the default. Just a few things you will need to adjust if you need to use it. Let's take an example. Let's take an example of this spot here, this slot here. Okay, let's take an example here. See how when you're on a bearish, when you're on a bearish trend, you see that there's bright red and then there's dark red. Okay, or you see that there's bright green, and then there's dark green. The bright green is a sure deal that you are actually going up. Okay, you are going up. That's a sure deal with the bright green. But as soon as the indicators start, the technical indicators start detecting that something is going to happen soon in the next, within the next few candles, it start preparing you, telling you that it's about to get bad. The green is not green anymore. It might still be green, but it's not the green you should put hopes on. So it start getting dark green. Okay, and that dark green fades into red. That means when you see the dark green, you are free to actually wait for the Weibo higher high indicator. Like here is a higher high indicator 474.49 cents or 474.49 cents. You see that you are green here, green here, green here. You get that dark green, and then you get the higher high from the Weibo. As soon as you see the higher high, buy puts. You buy puts there. You put will right along that dark green fades into red, fades into deep red. If you are still in a deep red, don't worry. As long as you see the dark red, okay, get out, because that dark red is preparing you for another side of the market. But depends on how the market is playing and what this guy will do. The VI actually works best on a say 15 or 10 minutes candle. On a 15 or 10 minutes candle, you will see that, let me put actually today, you will see that how you enter the market, how the market enters into opening impacts the general market day actually. Like for example, you're entering into the market with the green, and then you know that the dark green comes in. That will not go away easily. That means at least you're expecting a red candle to open the market, and that bleeds into some sort of some sort of a bearish trend, and then that bearish trend get picked over by something else. Let's see another scenario how we entered in the market. Okay, all right, we had been very green, well, bearish prepared to be green. Yeah, bearish prepared to be green, and then green prepared to be, yeah, that was not good. Yeah, prepared to, okay, this could be misleading, but this was actually doing well, not until the first candle. And normally I don't trade that first candle, but if we take a closer look and the 5-minute chart, 5-minute chart should give us the exact thing we're looking for. Okay, the 5-minute chart says we're green, but wait, look at that, prepare to be hammered. And then of course hope market open, we get hammered, and then like, okay, there's a hope, prepare to go up a little bit, and that happens, that comes in, and then they're like prepared to go down, and all of a sudden everything go down. And it just kept playing like that, and yeah, same thing every day, same thing. And bloody bad here, this was actually bloody bad. You can tell how the market is going to open really easily by just looking at that. See, that's pretty easy, so what am I trying to say here? I'll tell you that these indicators will help you make your own judgment and make your conclusion based on the news that you're hearing. Excuse me, I did not say kiss me, I said excuse me. So with that in mind, you can tell that we're preparing for a bullish move, but that bullish move is not going to come any sooner. Okay, so for now, I would say as far as this orange indicator is still far away from that bluish or whatever, whichever color you call it, play. I would, oh yeah, play accordingly. I can tell you which side you have to play, but just know that this thing has not ended yet. Just keep that in mind. And for the next plays, yeah, good luck. Okay, I'm out for now.